Good morning and welcome to another internet content that I am doing right now. Oh, I should probably start recording, huh? Yeah, I'm not a professional. Oh, we're doing it. Okay, excellent. Welcome to an internet. As you can see today, I am going to be doing a tier ranking of my favorite and least favorite, I guess, 2020 covers. These are all of the 102 books that I read in 2020. So I thought it'd be fun to go through them. There's a lot, so bear with me. The first category that I have is Yas Queen, which is just cream of the crop, excellent. You are doing everything perfectly. My second category is Brown Cow Stunning. So I went with a drag race theme and then immediately abandoned it. But Brown Cow Stunning, I want to be more like, it's the most beautiful brown cow you've ever seen. I don't want it to be like lipstick on a pig. It's more like, wow, that is the most stunning cow I've ever seen. Hi, do you want to come be on camera? No? You're just hungry? Okay. My third category is OMG IRL. So these are books that have some kind of like shine or texture to the physical book. These will mostly be limited to ones that I own physically so that I actually know that they're textured or whatever. But I think there is one that isn't. Oh, hi. Yeah, did I lock you in? Okay. All right, my fourth category is The British is Better, because let's face it, they just are. These are British covers that are better than the US editions that we have. Fifth category is Simple but Effective. These are ones that don't really rock the boat very much, and I don't necessarily love them in all cases, but it gets your message across very well. And then I have No Comment. This isn't meant to be like a sassy no comment necessarily. It's more just like, and I don't really have an opinion on these. I don't love them, don't super hate them. And then the final category is, of course, MS Paint. This is something that a toddler finger painted and then a graphic designer did it in MS Paint. Let us begin. We have the selection. For this one, I'm gonna say no comment, because I feel like it doesn't quite convey what the story is. I think it's a bit too monotone, and why is her weird arm like that? Anyway, putting it in no comment. Outlander is the next one. I'm gonna put this in simple but effective because there's something very intriguing about it. I think it's got the Twilight vibes to it, where it's just like, well, what's going on? It's a big title and who knows. Next one is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I'm gonna go simple but effective. I like the imagery on it and I like the colors. It's just kind of like, I get it. Confessions of a Sociopath. This is, I'm gonna say this is simple but effective. It's not a very good cover. It's kind of terrifying, but it's about a sociopath, so you're supposed to be a bit off-put by it. This next one I have here is The Mask of the Red Death. This is just a short story and I didn't know which cover to pick on Goodreads. This is the one I ended up going with for some reason, so I'm just gonna put it under no comment. The Long Way Down. I don't like this cover. I think it's busy, like it's, no comment. Milk and Honey. This one is definitely simple but effective. Furiously Happy. Wow, I'm really having a lot. I promise we'll get to some good ones eventually. Furiously Happy, I am going to put in simple but effective. Because it's a little bit weird knowing now that that's a taxidermied raccoon on the cover, as opposed to just some kind of illustration, but like, no, it's a taxidermied raccoon. The Bear and the Nightingale. I think this is Yas Queen. I love everything about this. I love how the title is positioned. I love the colors of it. I love the winter and forest vibes that you get from it. It's just, it's wonderful. Between the World and Me, I think this is a no comment because I don't think it's very effective because it doesn't really give you any sort of vibe about what the book is. It's just kind of words. Like, it has no, I was gonna say it has no design to it, but like obviously it has a design. Obviously someone went in and chose this cover, but I like a bit more complexity, I guess, in my covers. Next one is Children of Time. This is Brown Cow Stunning. I think it's wonderful. I think it really gives you a good vibe of what's going on. It just doesn't quite elevate it to Yes Queen for me. Every Heart a Doorway, I think, is the same thing. It's Brown Cow Stunning, where it's just, I totally get your vibe. I totally understand the kind of story that I'm in for the most part. Just not my very specific brand. The Wild Robot is also Brown Cow Stunning. I noticed there's a very green theme in here. Maybe that says something about me. This next one is 12th Night. This one, again, is like there's 1,000 covers out there, so I just kind of picked one. And I'm gonna put it in no comment because I feel like it's mean to put it anywhere else. This is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is another classic that has a ton of different editions of it, but I think it's Brown Cow Stunning. I think it's just really interesting. Like, it has a lot of intrigue to it, while still giving you, like, it's a classic. It doesn't try to pretend to be something it's not. I think it's great. This one is In a Dark, Dark Wood, and this is our first, where'd it go? OMG IRL. Give me 1 second. So in this book, all of the black bits in here and in the title are raised. So it gives us this really great like cobweb feel to it. I just think it's really effective and was most of the reason that I purchased this book physically. All right, next up we have The Hating Game. And this one is definitely the British is better. So the version that I have here is the British cover because the American one, I'll put it right here. Am I doing it? Am I booktubing? It's awful. I hate it. I think it's an awful, awful cover. It's so, that's an MS Paint cover. This is at least a really effective cover, I think. The next one is If We Were Villains. Oh, where am I gonna put this? Brown Cow Stunning. Because it's really good. It's definitely got the vibes. It's just not quite perfect for me. The Hate You Give. I'm gonna put this in no comment because I would put it in simple but effective, but I think it's really, I know that there are like special editions of this book and stuff that help, but it's not for me. The Blinds. I'm gonna put it in Brown Cow Stunning. I almost want to put it in Yas Queen because I feel like it's really got my vibe, but it's also barely an image. It's just a giant title and then a shack on it. Although I do own the physical book, and on the spine I really like that it has that whole cover image just like really small on the spine, because sometimes your books can't face out. I mean, you still want the pretty factor. All Systems Red. No comment. Next up, House of Leaves. OMG IRL. Because I think the cover, it has more of a shine to it in real life. And also like the rest of the book has a lot of stuff here. You can see the step back. Let me just grab it. So in real life, it's kind of hard to see the labyrinth outline. You kind of have to hit the light with it. It's also got the house in the blue lettering, which carries into the story of the book. And also you've got this step back here with some clues or like relevant information to the book. And also there's not a spoiler, but like the physical book and the way that this cover is done is kind of an Easter egg. I guess it's an Easter egg. I am mildly obsessed with this book, even though I gave it 3 stars. The Wife Between Us. I'm gonna say simple but effective, because I think it gives the thriller vibe that you want, and the colors are really good. It's just like, I've seen this cover before. Tana French, The Trespasser. Wow, I've forgotten everything about this book. I'm gonna put it in MS Paint because there's really nothing to this cover. It's not, they didn't even try. I don't know what's happening in this one. It's just really not doing it for me. It's Sadie, and simple but effective. Because I think I don't really love this cover, but I love the book so much I don't want my judgment there to crowd it. But yeah, it's a very simple cover and very minimal illustrations, but very effective. 1,000 Beginnings and Endings. This is a short story collection, and I'm gonna put it in simple and effective. In real life, it is actually quite dark. It's kind of hard to see all of these illustrations on it, but I really like what it's got. I'm Still Here. This is definitely a simple but effective. It's got the blacked out words, like you immediately know the kind of book that you're getting into. Next up is Our House, and I'm gonna put this in Yas Queen. I don't know what it is. There is something about this cover that just really does it for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it. It's just every time I see this cover, I think, wow, what a great book. If only it had lived up to the cover. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. No comment. All right, we get to the book that inspired a category, Tell the Machine Goodnight. This is the most MS Paint cover I have ever seen. It's weird, man. It's a weird cover that feels like I could have made it. I'm not a fan. Great book, bad cover. Whoop. Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. It ended up in the right spot. The British is better. This is the British cover. The American cover is, like, it's fine. I get what they're going for with it. It's just this cover is so stunning. It is brown cow stunning, but it's also, it's British, and that's better. Next up is Hood Feminism. Simple but effective. I feel like in nonfiction, you don't need to have a lot going on here, and I think having just an interesting font on it is good enough. Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe. This cover I hate so much. There are a couple different versions of this. I don't think that they're British versus American, but like there's one where it's all black and I hate it. I hate it so much. This is the least offensive cover I could find, and it's still horrendous. Agatha Audley. This is simple but effective. It's a middle school mystery, and I think you immediately get that vibe from this. With the Fire on High. No comment. I know a lot of people love this cover. It just doesn't do it for me. My Sister the Serial Killer. This one I think is simple but effective. I think it's weird and the color choice is very interesting, but it definitely sticks in your mind. Here and Now and Then. No comment. I think this cover wants to be so good. It's so close. It's just not there for me. I Know Who You Are, Alice Feeney. This one's simple but effective. This feels like a very standard thriller cover, which is exactly what it is. The One by John Mars. I wanted to look this one up because I know there are multiple versions of this cover. Oh yeah, there's this version. Yeah, that one's even worse. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly whether one of these is British and one of them isn't. But regardless, there are two very different covers, and this one is infinitely better, so I'm gonna put it in the British is better. Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. This is one that, like, is a lot older, so it has a ton of different covers as well. Oh, see, I kind of want to put it in OMG IRL because the physical book has the back is the butts of the cats, which I think it's really funny. And it's got cats on it, OMG. I'm going with it, don't question me. Next up, how to be anti-racist. Simple but effective. Like, it's a nonfiction, it doesn't have to do anything fancy. Curious incident of the dog in the nighttime. No, it's MS Paint. I wanted to say simple but effective, but I feel like so much of the simple but effective is in the title. A really long, complicated title, I feel like, is more what draws me into this rather than the awful orange color. Invisible Women is definitely simple but effective. I think it's a really good nonfiction cover. If there was a tier that was like nonfiction, but I like it, it would go in there. This one, Her Royal Highness. At first, I would have put this in simple but effective because I liked it, but I feel like reading the book has clouded my judgment too much and it has to go in MS Paint. Because it's just like, why is it the background? Why is there no more definition on this? I don't know, I want more. I want so much more. Next up, Lock Every Door. I love this cover and it sticks in my mind all the time, but I think it's just simple and effective. Because it's a thriller, but it's pink. And you don't often see bright pink books, so I think it sticks in my mind there. The Library of the Unwritten. I'm gonna put this in Brown Cast Iron because there's just, yeah, I really love this cover. This is another one where I wish the book had lived up to the cover. Anyway, American Predator. This is a simple but effective. Another nonfiction, true crime. You look at the cover and you know exactly what you're getting. The Wives by Taryn Fisher. This is going to be a no comment. The Gracier. This is yes queen for me. I love this cover so much. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it. It's so simple, but it just immediately draws me into it somehow. This Is How You Lose the Time War. I think this is simple but effective. I think this is really good at the minimalism on it, but the birds are kind of glitching, and I think it's really effective. Beautiful on the Outside. No comment. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The Starless Sea. I love this cover. Like, when this book came out, I wanted to buy it solely for the cover. And while I still love this cover with a passion, the British one is better. There are a ton of special editions of this too, and like, knowing that those exist, this cover just isn't quite as wonderful. Next one, To Be Taught If Fortunate. I think this is simple but effective. Riot Baby. I don't mean to be mean, but it's MS Paint for me. I don't think it conveys what the story is very well. My camera decided to stop recording, so we're gonna end it there, and I'm gonna do this again in a part 2 to get through all of the covers. There are a lot more than I thought there would be, and I'm less decisive than I hoped I would be. But anyway, see you in part 2.